What are the odds that I messed that up already? Hello and welcome into the SorareData Game Week 425 preview. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as at Lairdinho on Sorare, joined as always by Quinny. Quinny, can you tell that I was already prepared for my show later today?
Yeah.
Is there any way that I gave that away, that there's a show later today?
Totally threw me off.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Thank you to everybody for joining us in no particular order. SR Monkey, Sam Baines looks like they were the first one in. Sorare Mamba, Carrie is here. It's Wilson. I like this pineapple and fist bump from Mike Basson. I think that's like the perfect one for this show. Love it. Ricky, Charlie, Ian, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining. Brad Craig said, hello, everyone. Who else is looking forward to having their players benched for both matches in their double game week? Oh, Brad, with that attitude, you gotta turn that frown upside down. The mailman is here. How about that? And Carrie, yes, let's go another stream later. Yes, there's another stream later today. So there's that. Quinny, do we have any matches play for this game week? Yeah,
Not yet.
Right? Nothing yet. And yet, here we are having to get ready for the weekend. How are you feeling for the weekend?
The weekend, I really couldn't care. I've had a look through, like as soon as the game week opened, you go through and you have a wee look at the teams and what you can play, how many goalkeepers are running, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's the same as every international window. Like I just don't care. Like if I get a DNP, or a guy doesn't deliver, it just really doesn't bother me because I never look at the internationals until they open. Like I never try and hit them on lineup builder and kind of massage my gallery into it in any way. So it is like the stereotypical, it's just a bonus, like just throw a team out, see what happens.
I have a very similar kind of feeling for the international game week or for the international break. I will say that I did make a move last week specifically for this weekend. And the only reason I did it is because, and this is going to sound like peak degen move, but I promise it makes sense. I was looking for a new goalkeeper. And so that's one part of it. So I was like, I need a new goalie. And then another part is I went to this game week, this international break, or this international game week, and I saw Portugal home against Iceland. And I won a Ruben Diaz. I won a Bruno Fernandes. I've had João Felix. So I'm like, all right, I have Portugal players. And then I look further, and I think we'll get into it, but I think Armenia plays Wales. I think it's a Zella Ryan week, or I thought that's what it was. Now but whatever. So I was like, I had everyone except a goalie. And I'm like, well, who are the goalies that I could get that also kind of fit what I was trying to do outside of the international window? Because that's the key. I didn't want to buy, someone that just didn't correlate at all with my gallery. And so I ended up buying Lucas Herdesky from Bayer Leverkusen because I have a Jonas Hoffman. And I'm like, maybe I'll get some Bayer Leverkusen cards, but at least I had that correlate. Not that they correlate other than they happen to wear the same shirt. But Finland play Northern Ireland this game week. And I was like, at least I know he'll start along with 4 other guys that I hope will start. But it always comes down to, I feel like I used to do this previously, that I would buy players for international weeks and then they wouldn't play. And you go through all of this whole process of, I'm going to get them for this game week. And we talk about like some teams have already qualified for the Euros. Some of them are already disqualified, can't make it. And so we're going to see rotation. And it's one of those things that you can really benefit if you plan ahead of time, but you could also just come up empty. And so I've gone the full-fledged Quinny. Like these are just like bonus weeks, and just like when you have them, that's great. And if you don't, you get back into it in 2 weeks.
That's it. You take the break, you take the pause. I'm with you all the way. When you were talking there as well, I do remember like trying to the odd time, maybe maximise a wee window if you had like a 4-man play anyway. And it was like, oh, can I get a wee number 5 in? So there's nothing wrong with that. So always a good bit of fun, isn't it? A goalkeeper, but especially like that kind of move, you do need to do that where it scratches your back anyway. Like, you know, it's not just the DNP keeper that gets capped for his country that you've picked up. You know, like it's a legit champ keeper anyway. So it's that's a solid move, and I think that's the main way to look at internationals. And then naturally you end up with like, oh, I've got 20 guys that are playing. Can I make a team? You know,
right? You just want to make a team, but to go out of my way to try to win All-Star Rare during International Game Week, it's like these things. So much can happen in these game weeks, and I'm going to pull up the matchups tab anyway. France and England at the top. I mean, how much are we really competing? And that doesn't even include the fact that like Belgium and Spain are really high up as well. Croatia's at least away. The Netherlands, Portugal. I mean, these are the national team sides that have the elite players that we want in regular SO5 competitions, and they just happen to be playing on their super teams now. So it's like, how much am I really planning to get this in?
I think when you look at this, the first thing that you think about is Griezmann. That's just the first, because he's Mr. France, you know, and at home at Gibraltar, that's his game, you know. So Griezmann 100 inbound, totally. And the rest of the France team, like France can be quite hard to pick, especially in those kind of games. You know, Mbappe is going to get the stat pad, and obviously, but maybe guys like Dembele, Giroud, Kolo Muani. There's a few other guys where it's like, oh, who actually plays, and you know, that kind of thing. But Griezmann is nailed for everything.
Yeah, he's the one that feels, you know, as long as he's fit, it feels like he's the most nailed. I guess Mbappe is probably just as nailed on. But yeah, I don't want to give them. I don't want to compare Griezmann and Mbappe to Ronaldo in terms of like beating up on minnows, because they just kind of beat up on everybody. And so it's like when you're getting all of that, there's that. So Mike Barra brings up Tchouaméni, who I think is another one that I feel like he gets forgotten a little bit, which is weird in that Real Madrid midfield because he's been playing all the time. But he is incredible for France also. Like there's nothing, although I think is he hurt for this break? I don't know if he got called, but like, he is very, very, very good for France. And it's not a ton of decisives. And so you're not going to get it. All right, Tchouaméni is injured. But like, he's the one that I feel like always kind of gets a little forgotten about. And then you see him in the France shirt and you're like, oh, that's right. He is really good.
Yeah, he's incredible. And I didn't realise how big the AA was for him there internationally. 3 games in a row, 35 plus. Like, that's phenomenal. Like 70 really, capable. Really, and it's against Holland as well, not just Malta, but there was a game against Holland there and another kind of halfway okay team. So, yeah, very, very overlooked. And I think when you look at Tchouaméni's graph, I think I was looking at it with somebody recently who'd won him or something. And if you look at his graph, it's lovely, but it just doesn't get, there's the odd 90 here. There's maybe the odd 80 plus here. But it's just like bang, like 55 to 70. He's in there all the time.
Yep. Yeah, I think I mean, we're not surprising anyone here. He's really special. That's all.
Yeah.
So
solid.
I was going to say, so who was it? Sorare Info said Mignon 100, Griezmann 100, Mbappe 100. I don't know how. This is from David. I don't know how Mignon gets to 100.
Yeah, same. Is he taking a penalty? Has he got up for corners? Get a wee shot on target, you know, and stuff like that. Maybe, but I don't know about Mike. Maybe in England, you might get a goalkeeper with a few points in the England game, because I don't think they'll concede a goal. But Malta going to Wembley, you've got to fancy they'll get a shot or two away, you know. Whereas, pardon me, Gibraltar, I beg your pardon. Or no, Malta. Yeah, sorry, I got them. I did the wee brain.
Against Kazakhstan is the funny one to stick in here.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, who are your biggest favorites? Oh, France, England, Kazakhstan, Belgium, Spain, of course. Who else would be here?
It's the Sorare way, of course. Mm-hmm. But no, I think England's probably the funny one as well because of the way the squad sits. No Maddison. There's been obviously Palmer come into the squad last minute. So the England one is get a few obviously Kane, no Bellingham.
Yep. But
like a few people that are in this squad are quite well carded already, and I know a lot of Sorare managers like. Like looking at that screen there, I see Trippier, I see Grealish. I think the likes of Rice and Foden will probably play in this game as well. But even if Calvin Phillips could play in this game, and he's a bit of a L15 cheat code, because there's no Henderson might play, I guess, but I actually think Phillips starts this match just from what the radio tells me, and that kind of thing. I've just got a wee feeling maybe that's what happens. So Phillips could be a wee cheat code waiting to happen out of all those favourites there.
This is when he gets to play. Because he doesn't play for Man City, so he gets to play. Somehow he gets to play for England, even though he doesn't play for Man City. But they do have are they a one with a double game week? I guess I could have just pulled up literally anyone here, because there are a few double game weeks. So they have Malta home, North Macedonia away as a double game week, and so that just makes it even worse for people who don't have their cards, because they get like 2 shots at starting. And even if they heavily rotate, they'll be able to, you'll get a good matchup regardless.
That's 2 shots at Kane getting 100, isn't it?
Does France also in? Because we're not going to have the odds, I'm guessing, for like the second games, because wait. Oh no, France only plays once. Yeah, the England ones. Ugh. Just cheat codes. Yeah.
Belgium's funny because their squad isn't as Belgium as it has been. De Bruyne's not around at the moment. Lukaku's definitely past peak, and the defence has been under rediscovery for about 2 years, I think, at this point, maybe a year and a half, since Alderweireld, Vertonghen, company, that kind of generation has kind of left them. So Belgium are really strong favourites, and at home they should scoop them, but it's the Doku show, maybe. I don't know. There's not that many. Vertonghen still getting a cap, it looks like. Castagna. It's not as a fearful Belgium, can I say? It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not that powerful looking, is it?
And obviously no Courtois back there too.
And no Thibaut.
All right, so we got Spain against Georgia.
Spain's a funny one. Spain's a funny one because they've qualified already. Georgia obviously can't qualify. And Spain's squad, I think we spoke about it last time, or it might have been, I was speaking about it with somebody recently, but their squad, it was us, because we had to go and find the squads, So I think this is going to be an exhibition match, potentially. Like, this will be a lot of those Spain players trying to make a name for themselves to get into the squad. They're at home. And Spain are normally quite cute as well. I don't know where the venue is, but they're normally quite clever with, see if it's a team from a cold country. Let's see Scotland. They played us in Seville, and Seville is one of the hottest parts of Spain.
I love
if you get me.
Absolutely love it.
And, so they do stuff like that. So Georgia, I've got Mamardashvili and maybe 1 or 2 other players that aren't too, rubbish, certainly. But I think Valladolid is for that one. So don't know what the significance is of that one, but I dare say maybe the sun will be in the goalkeeper's eyes or something like that. Or
something.
Yeah, with something funky like that going on. So I think that's the potential. France and England, quite obviously, but I think that's a game that might get overlooked a bit. Picking the team will be hard, but when you've got Alvaro Morata getting compared to Haaland, I think you might see Morata get the start on that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we went through the tables on Monday's show, so there are a few here that don't necessarily need to play that hard, which is always a little weird. I just want to go down here. I think, is this Colombia? Did we decide this?
Yeah,
I messed that up last time.
That's Colombia.
Sure. They were Colombia. Millonarios. There we go. Colombia.
Yeah, that's Escobar's team.
There we go. Escobar's team. So Colombia, and we do have, I don't want to bury the lead here. We do have some La Liga, I believe they're Hypermotion now, not Smartphone. Yeah, second division, but it looks like a lot of close matchups.
I was going to say, the first thing I noticed on that is Valladolid are at home, which would be funny. Since Spain are playing there too.
Spain, yeah. Good call.
So
I
that's
wonder
interesting.
If, Friday, Saturday, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, Valladolid against Leganes, that's a top of the table effort, I think.
Yep.
I don't know who Zaragoza are playing there. Espanyol, Elche. There's a few games there. Tenerife have got the team that you love to see come up in this second division tab, that Amo Bireta or whatever. Mm-hmm. So Tenerife cards will be dancing this week.
I mean, away. The nice thing about all of these teams, I mean, I don't want to say it's absolutely this, but I assume that nobody's losing anybody for international duty.
No, I don't think so. Maybe Espanyol. Who does that Braithwaite guy? Does he still play for them? Maybe the Danish international. He played for Barca and somebody else.
I don't know if he's. I don't think he's still
Braithwaite. Yeah. I wonder if he got into the Denmark team. Yeah, he's up front.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he got called. Surely somebody. Where's Alex? Alex Wilson here. He'll know.
Kennedy season for Valladolid.
Talk about Carl Hein. Kennedy season. How old is Kennedy now?
I don't know. 22? 27.
I feel like Kennedy's been around for so long.
I thought I was going to go that way in my mind. Tried to overcompensate the wrong way.
I feel like he broke through when he was like 8, and all of a sudden he's finally got up to 27. Anyway, I got nothing to say on this other than it doesn't look all that fun, and I don't think there's any.
I think these stacks probably target this window for like All-Star, for cap modes and that kind of thing. Like, I think if you have any of these guys, you're probably like this is you probably rubbing your hands together and going, I'm playing Amo Bireta away. Let's go. You know.
You think you would play it in All-Star?
I think if you had these guys, yeah, totally.
Against like France, I don't even remember who France plays. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't want these guys anywhere near an All-Star when France and England and Belgium and
let's have a look.
Mike Baston doing the work for us here. Braithwaite didn't get called.
378 cards. There's cap modes as well. Well, maybe cap is probably
cap. Yeah.
Yeah, cap's probably the play. 270 is only at 9.
The Levante defensive stacks for the win. All right.
Yeah, I suppose 270, 195 cards it pays out. And at the moment, there's under 500 entrants, about 450. So, yeah, 270 is probably the play for the smart teams in that sense. But I really like the look at All-Star. I think everyone's knee-jerk reaction to be put off by it is something to lean into on occasion, you know?
Yeah.
Because, again, a lot of those power cards you're thinking of will go into pro and under 23s, maybe, for some of the younger ones that are a bit more punchy, you know?
I will say Bellingham commented, I forget where it was, that it felt like they were giving out way too many rewards for this upcoming game week, given like how many cards we have in play. Like All-Star Rare 378 for, I don't know, for like 81 in Rare Plus seems like a lot.
Yeah, it does, man. For internationals, it does.
Right, for an international, like 4 stars.
That is a lot.
Don't mind if I do. Anyway. Nothing in Asia. America has the Colombia, and then we apparently have one Brasileiro, Fortaleza against Cruzeiro.
Yeah.
Why not? But really the biggest thing about this, as Alex brings it up, we get Asia qualifiers, and I believe, did I remember this correctly? South Africa.
Wow, South Africa. Wow, love it. Yep. Go on, South Africa, paying the Opta coverage. Love it. Go on, South Africa, on yourself. Love that. For anyone that cares, the South African Premier League is it's like kind of an easy league to follow on like free television. I don't know what site it's on, or an app, maybe one of these football apps that shows football. I can't remember, but it's one of these weird leagues that you can actually, if you really wanted to watch it, it's not that hard. Like, so that's funny.
All right, South Africa. Alex Wilson says South Korea, China's on his list. We'll get there because we do have the. We have any South Africa cards?
That's a buzz. African football's so lopsided. Like if they do get qualifications for that, it'll be brilliant.
This can't be right. He can't possibly play center back for them. Oh no, okay, he doesn't. Or we have no idea. I was like, this looks silly, but it is silly. It's a good card.
It's just 11 guys, isn't it? 4-4-2.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't even have odds for those games, but if you're really into the Wait a minute. I feel like more should show up here. Oh, no, never mind. Nope. Okay. So, yeah, South Africa at Rwanda and then home against Benin.
Decent for them.
Think we got any cards from those two?
I think Benin have got a player. Like they'll have somebody. Stephen Mooney.
Steve Mooney. How about that?
I was going to say the guy like Buanga. I know he's Gabon, but all these countries have got one guy that made it. Maybe not Rwanda. That might be a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a guy in Belgium or something like that. No.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Anyway, so we do have. Yeah. So if you notice here on the bottom, these don't have odds. Part of that is because it might be the second match of the game week, as we mentioned, England against North Macedonia. And then, here's the South Korea against China, away to China. Does not have odds, but it is in the game week.
Do you think anyone's ever battered China at home? You know, like you go away to China and beat them 8-0. Do you think anyone's done that?
In China?
Yeah.
No.
Too dangerous.
Yeah. I don't. Did they make it out of the group when they hosted the? I mean, they must have, right? Doesn't everybody do it except who was the last one who didn't? Qatar didn't make it out, right?
I forget. I actually got to remember.
I thought Qatar was the first host nation to not make
it
out.
Qatar. China aren't hosting. What do you mean? Are you talking about Korea? Sorry.
Didn't they host years ago?
China? No, China didn't host anything. The one you're maybe thinking of is Japan and Korea. They hosted the 2002 World Cup. But no, China's not hosted anything. Maybe Olympics or something.
Okay. That's fair. So they're terrible. I don't know how to feel about. I mean, the difference is that because of Sorare, we know all of these guys.
Yeah.
And so
stars, every one of them.
Yeah, exactly. We love them all. Brad said getting into the deep cuts of the Sorare discography. Oof.
Well, Iran went to China one time and beat them 3-0. That's the biggest result I've found so far. Iran have been the bravest. Japan went there and beat them 2-1. But yeah, no one. Oh, Czech Republic went there and beat them 4-1. Czech Republic and Wales beat them 6-0, I suppose. But they're Wales. They can get away with that, can't they? Like it's like Harry and people like that. You know, they'll get away with that. But not the Koreans and their neighbours and stuff like that. They wouldn't take nicely to a 6-0, would they?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Does that make you hesitate on playing them? Like if you had a few of these guys?
I'm just joking mainly, if you know what I mean. But I do think like they should be levels above the national team. It should be a scudding. And I know we talk about the China Super League and stuff like that, but a big part of the reason that China Super League cards are OP is the domestic player in China is like very low footballing wise, you know. So like I've got a friend that's worked out in China, and when he found out China was on like Sorare, he told me it's like, you know, I don't know if I said this before on this show before, but he said to me, Quinny, you'd get a game over there. Like, you know, so Korea should, you know, as far as I understand, it should be an easy one for them. But looking at it, China don't really get battered by, and it is friendlies. It's Wales. You know, if someone batters them at home, nobody else, you know, joking aside against the safety of the away team, you know, maybe they're just really good at home or something. But no one seems to go to China and scud them.
Mickey Fu, I think this is the best line of the entire show. Now that Jurgen Klinsmann's the South Korea coach, he'll probably only choose Korean players from Europe.
That's what he does. And I know that's an America joke, but he's being the exact way he was as America manager, as Korea manager. I think there's been a bit of USMNT Twitter's kind of got onto Korean Twitter, and there's been a wee bit of bromancing over like shared hatreds for Klinsmann. But he's very much like that, you know, so the team will be kind of predictable. He wants them all to be moving at Europe. He's kind of said that. And he got a lot of negative press in Korea because, see, the last international break, I don't know if you remember or if you heard this, but he booked all their friendlies and stuff like that to be in Europe. And he moved one of the fixtures because he was playing a charity match. He was playing a charity match in like London or something like that. So he made their training camp coincide in such a way that it would make it really easy for him to go and play a charity match in the middle of the international window. So yeah, the Koreans were not too happy with Klinsmann. I'm
I'm not sure where Klinsmann's liked, to be honest. If he seems to be disliked in South Korea, but
so Cho and Son, they'll start, no bother.
I think who was it? That's right, Alex. It's time for Lee Hanbum to shine. Yeah, he didn't go
He's
to
in Europe.
Denmark to not play in the national team. I mean, there are some. I mean, we know this. There are some like legit players on this team that are very good in Europe already. So it's not like there's this huge push to try to get more. I mean, obviously he's trying to get more there, but they have some extremely well-established players that should be good. But maybe not this game week.
Yeah, maybe, but a 2-0 win could be good, depending on who you've got.
So I like the 2-0 win is good, except when France, England, Kazakhstan, Belgium, and Spain win 8-0.
Sure, but the 2-0 victory for your Koreans, you're probably going to get a better goalkeeper. And depending on who you're picking in defence, you might slink it there, you know. So it depends how you're attacking it, I guess. But yeah, fair enough. I've got a bad habit of isolating good situations and thinking that's all that's all you need. But yeah, fair.
So
fair
actually,
point.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually something that I think I overcompensate with, and I do this the more that I keep slandering second division cards and have SR Monkey throw it in my face that they are fine. That realistically, most people are not playing like 5-man stacks from a certain team that wins 8-0. And when a team wins 8-0 and the 5-man stack wins, everyone's like, see, this is what happens. But like the 8-0 is very rare. And what I kind of forget is you ultimately just need to score a lot of points. And it's possible that like multiple teams just score a lot of points, like fantasy points. And so if you do have these situations where, where was I looking? Like, obviously we know France is like the top favorite. We were talking about how Spain could be a little sneaky, but like Portugal's got a good matchup, and Switzerland and Luxembourg. And like, they just have to score the points. Like they don't necessarily need to win 8-0. And so I think I do the opposite. I like don't put them enough in a vacuum where it's like, oh no, this is a really good situation and should be good situation in any competition where I'm like, no, that team's going to win. And it's like, well, we don't know. Just,
yeah. It's the kind of wrestle where everyone has with themselves for their own teams. And it's a big part of the reason I like doing these shows, because this is kind of like, you know, before I started doing the deadline, before we started doing this over here, like it's the stuff you would do yourself before the game week anyway, is you would just look at all the fixtures and kind of sweat probabilities and like, oh, you know, well, somebody's in the chat here that Samba might start in goals for France and he's not got a card. So if that happens, then
shouldn't be allowed.
Your Korean goalkeeper all of a sudden looks way better.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's absolutely true. Absolutely.
And yeah, you just never know sometimes with these ones. So it's like that's because these are the thought processes that everyone wrestles with to some extent. And some teams it's worth leaning against the grain and going, no, in isolation, this might be good enough. And sometimes you see, well, it's probably not going to stand up that strong because I'm asking for that game to have 5 decisives, or I'm asking for this to happen, or I'm asking a lot. And, you know, it's that kind of rationale of your available choices. Mm-hmm. Is, you know, a lot of the fun. I almost spat my juice out listening to you the other day saying that your most fun part of the game obviously is like trading, and you hate like watching teams and lineups and stuff like that. It's like, no way. How can that be the case? Like, as soon as teams come in, I just want to see points. I just want to see the games start happening. So I say, you almost had me spit my juice.
No, I'm not going to change what I said.
Fair.
But I will always maintain that the actual lineup part is the worst. So yeah, we'll see. Let's go back. Where were we? We were looking at South Korea. Oh wait, Kazakhstan. That's what I wanted to look at because I'm serious. So obviously this match says more about San Marino than it does about Kazakhstan.
Agreed.
But I mean, if you're sitting here with okay, let's try this one. Back to your Zaynudinov?
Yeah.
Zaynudinov? Is it?
I think you got it the first time, bud.
You know who he plays for normally?
Krasnodar?
Ooh, I like that guess. Besiktas. Oh, and he's hurt. Broken nose. Maybe a little international mask.
Yeah.
domestic left back, I guess. Center mid for Kazakhstan. Maybe some set pieces. What do we think?
I can see it.
No. Oh, well. Who's this guy? Marat Bystrov? Oh, he's in Russia at least.
You find a few of them in Russia. I just thought I'd bring the group up again because I remember talking about Kazakhstan on Monday because they're still on the heels of Denmark and Slovenia. Of course, San Marino is a 3-pointer. You expect them to get that. So they'll definitely be out to get the 3 points in style at home. It's probably their best international campaign I've ever been aware of, certainly. So I'm sure, that'll be a good game for them. They'll probably want to feel the part of being a competitor, going the distance in the group, So I don't think they'll take it lightly, even though they don't need to, but I don't think they will. That's a good one.
Yeah, it seems like one of those situations where just finishing as highly as possible is just progress for you, wherever you've been previously. All right, let's see. Are there any big Scotland? Is that Norway? There we go.
Yeah. That'll be a good one for Haaland if he's playing. We've qualified.
Nothing else jumps out. These matches are pretty close. So let's go to the pick scores, which I assume are going to be extremely messy and have Antoine Griezmann at the top. There he is. Griezmann, Mbappe. Who did we say Switzerland has? Oh, Kosovo. I missed that one.
Oh, yeah. That is a good one.
Where were they?
Is Shaqiri in the Switzerland squad?
Oh, here they are. I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Can't say I was looking up the Switzerland squad. Although I take that back. I was going to look the other day because I have a rivals lineup for that match.
That's what I was going to say. I've been getting I get invited onto rivals yesterday, and it was pandemonium. My phone battery died within 20 minutes or something. It was crazy. And but anyway, the main one was like the game we we're just talking about was the Switzerland-Israel, and I went. Shaqiri wasn't in it. I couldn't see him, so I was like, "Oh, interesting." So I had to go Shaqiri-less. Oh, he is. Jonathan says he's in the squad.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a midfielder or something. I was looking in the forward category or vice versa. I couldn't see him.
Yeah, he's a midfielder.
Might have been something like that, but yeah, I didn't see him when I went looking.
Yeah, oh man. You just look at this list and how many people have these cards, and I don't, and I'm like, oh God. Griezmann, Mbappe, Shaqiri, Teo Hernandez, Bruno Fernandes, Kane, Joachim Anderson. Is he still smashing his face off?
Yeah, still doing good. Guy's a hero.
Jeez.
He is repeatable scores, like personified. If you watch Palace, like he's great, like he's good in that, but he's not remarkable. He's just for Denmark. Obviously, it's even more clear. I feel like international stage.
He plays like he knows the scoring matrix, and he's like,
yeah.
Like he sees a pass and somebody's like before the halfway line and he's just like, make sure they're on the other side so he can play it through. Yeah. Anyway. Saka. So again, England with the double game week. So everybody, like that's probably the best situation you could have. 2 elite matchups and a double game week so that if your guy doesn't start the first one, he just rips in the second.
Yeah, England power stacks for sure. People are talking about Pickford in the chat as well for goalkeeper.
Yeah.
All those AAAs, the AAA list isn't that long, but all those AAAs, they're all the good ones anyway. Their cap is so big, you won't see that many of, because this is the first weekend where we've had 270 kind of reopened again.
Yep.
So you're not going to see too many of these rolling into 270, which is maybe some people's, paradise in that respect, their safe place from these big power combos. So that's kind of reassuring. It's, you would hate to see it if they were all like international studs, but, domestic duds. And they had like, wonky caps that were the wrong way around, for them.
I like this question from Charlie. Would you rather have England player with 2 games or France versus Gibraltar? The problem is that the England games are against Malta and who was the other one? North Macedonia.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're playing Germany and Italy here. So like France should kill Gibraltar, but England should also win big one of those games, if not both.
I think so. I think the problem with the England games is Gareth Southgate and knowing if the second game is actually even in play for you. You know, I think you can probably get, as we get closer to the deadline, a better idea of what the team will be on the day for the Malta match. But like relying on what the team will be for the second match is going to be very difficult, I think. So I can see him totally changing it from one game to the other. They've got 6 games played. They're on 16 points. They're qualified. They're not caring. They're still picking Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips. So, like, the second, or the whole 2-game dynamic of England, in terms of the rotation element, if for any guys you're not worried, you're not too sure about, I think it's more of a safety net thing rather than you can't lose element. You know, it's more of, you'll definitely get 1 game rather than, you get 2, unless it's Kane. Kane's the only one I think has got 2 games at bagging 100, whereas the rest of them, it's maybe he gets 30, then 60 or 45, and then 60, that kind of thing. So I'd probably take France.
I wanted to look up the 2 guys that showed up from 2nd division. We have Ilyas Chara.
Nice.
Coming off 100. That's always nice. And then Santiago Colombado. Ooh.
Nice.
Well, hello. Who had him in the Oviedo Rivals game on Monday? Anyone?
Hey.
78. With
Oviedo. That was the game I've seen everyone talking about, eh?
It was the most popular game in the history of Sorare. Split set pieces with Santi Cazorla. Look at Santi.
Living your best life.
One of my all-time favorite players.
Oh, amazing. Surprised he's still playing. That's incredible.
I was just about to say that. Sorry, he's still very much still alive, and I guess he's not playing that much, but running the table here. Somebody brought something up. Oh yeah. So we always like to look at the U23 goalies. A few people have mentioned in chat that Verbruggen is going to start for the Netherlands.
Ooh, confirmed.
Love
that.
Where is Bart here? Pause here. Put him as a little starter.
Get your points up already. Love that.
And somebody mentioned Diogo Costa was not going to start. That was very early on. And is there like news on that? Or was that just like...
I missed that in the chat, but I'm sure the chat will come back to us on it for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to go back here to see if I saw who it was.
A few of those AAA picks are familiar to a few of the guys in the chat as well, which is cool to see. But another goalkeeper one I've seen in the chat earlier that a few people already messaged me today about is the Bosnia goalkeeper situation. Sehic, the guy that was in Turkey and went to Saudi, he's injured. And the number 2 for Bosnia is the number 1 goalkeeper for St. Pauli, which is Nikola Vasilj.
Vasilj, yeah.
So he's people are asking me, is he definitely number 2? And I'm like, he's definitely number 2. That's why I've got him, and that's why I wanted to get a super rare before this happened. But it's happened. Catch out the bag probably as soon as the kickoff goes. Everyone knows about it, sort of. So yeah, I think Vasilj will be in, and then he's like under 30. St. Pauli almost got promoted last year. They're going really high in the division again this year. If they don't get promoted, it's hard to imagine he doesn't move into Champion Euro or a European team, UEFA competition team. I mean, from like Challenger Europe or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to get his cap, and that's probably going to get a lot of scouts around Europe going, "Oh, who's this guy? Oh, we'll go and sign him now for somebody," because that's normally what happens with these guys. They need that international break to get some sort of seal of approval in the top level.
Sure. Where was he? Who is he starter for?
St. Pauli and Bosnia, sorry.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Get him in. All right.
So yeah, that's a good one. I've put him in for this midweek on just the off chance he got a cap, just because Sedge is really old. And then I got that news. I was like, oh yes, he'll be playing. Nice 5-man team. So
Jose Sa is the
my
one
Japanese players.
Costa.
Oh, Jose Sa, nice.
Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, that's cool, man.
Oh, Johannesson says Iker Alvarez will start.
Well, yeah, that's a game. Even if it is for Andorra or whatever it is.
Yep.
The under 23s will be good fun. What do the prize pools? We were quite surprised by them earlier. What do under 23s look like? I wonder. 125 in rare, and there's only 185 entrants at the moment. That's healthy.
Yeah, it's weird. Where is that? I keep doing that, clicking the.
It's decent. 125 spots.
Rare. Well, let's see. How many rare goalkeepers do we have? If Costa doesn't play, we've got Campos and Roman from the second division. Roman also in that Real. He's a Real Oviedo. As soon as they conceded, everyone was like, ah. Danny Rebollo. Who do you play for? Oh, Zaragoza.
He's maybe a bench guy. Didn't know he played for Zaragoza. Yeah, he's just come into the team. Cool.
Bazunu. No, he's not going to start. Oh, yes. Yeah. He'll start. But that's just not the matchup you want. But he's there. Yeah. And Juan, is that Ramon Juan or Juan Ramon?
Yeah, you just never know, do you?
These guys are dreadful.
Yeah.
And Mamardashvili away to Spain.
Tribune at home to Italy, but it's not at home. It'll be some neutral venue. Yeah, Mamardashvili might be the pick there, by the way, because if they don't concede 3, he should be getting around 60.
Do you think that they'll shoot enough?
I think they'll have all the ball.
Yeah, but if they're not shooting, maybe I'm just too used to, older Spain teams that just like the 2,000 passes that don't really end up leading to many shots. And so if they only take 3 shots and they all go in, or the 2 shots. Fair. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll Jonathan saying they lost 7-0 in the last match. That's fair, I suppose. it's a bit of a big ask, but yeah, just saying. He's the best goalkeeper there, maybe for Bruggen on paper, like actual goalkeeper.
Actual goalkeeping?
Yeah. And big players in big games, but yeah.
7-1.
7-1. Come on.
I'll take that away from
Jack Vitadze. He's an old hero.
Oof, that's a rough game.
Yeah.
Imagine having 2 negative decisives and then negative 24 AA on top of that.
It's a weighty, isn't it?
I really wish we had less than 0. I think we should. I'm fine with the 100 cap, but the 0 I'm not okay with.
Yeah. There should be maybe some sort of rule we impose on players where if it is like that bad that they need to buy everyone's limited cards of them or something. If you know what I mean, reimburse everyone's limited, it's maybe a week's wage fine or something for them, depending on what division they're in. But I think that's the least they could do if they're that bad in a game,
I don't know if away to Belarus is the one, but I guess the upside is the shot upside is there.
Yeah, well, that's a match that both teams would fancy we're not going to get beat today, So, yeah, fair enough.
Mickey Fu was saying Osaka or Suzuki, whoever plays is also a good shot. I think that's the problem. The whoever plays is never really fun.
Yeah. I think Osaka's fancied for the first match, so depends on what school of thought the manager's taking if he does rotate. We've seen that before with the friendlies that Japan have done. That they kind of mix and match teams, make subs at half time and do that kind of stuff. Also, at friendlies, there's more license to do that. But the games they've got are not too far removed from a friendly, to be honest with you. So, maybe there's still a bit of an element of that happens.
That's fair. All right. Let's get a quick cap 240 check. Satalo Shaqiri. Yeah, I mean, that indicates some very big expectations for Shaqiri.
Someone in the chat called him 80 minimum for Switzerland.
That would be nice if you had him. Griezmann 64. I mean, that's not surprising, I guess.
Yeah, 100. No doubt about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even at 240, it's funny to see those guys really appear in the kind of top order there. Kerkez is one that caught my eye coming into this game week. I was looking at Premier League teams and stuff, and I seen his cap was really low. Everyone rates him really highly. I've not seen much of him myself, but 15 or 27 at home to Montenegro.
Mike Baston said, I thought I was in luck when I saw Vietnam game in the current game week. Game's on the weekend, but it had gone by Monday, probably because of Opta coverage. Had a 0 key. Who is that? The Vietnam keeper.
That's amazing.
Jonathan says the Jamal Lewis AAA is a bit funny.
And who did they play?
Finland.
Finland.
Yeah, Finland and Denmark. Little double game week.
I can see that. Finland are not a high-scoring nation. Denmark should run them over, obviously, but, if they concede 2 or less, he's one of their main crossers of the ball for chances created. You're also at the mercy of possession lost and things like that, but that team's normally Northern Ireland are all about defending first. They don't really throw possession away too lightly. So I don't think you'd see Max Aarons getting 20 possession lost or anything like that.
I'm going to agree here with Nikki Fu about Rano being 95% to start, which I assume that's still just Kasper Schmeichel season.
Yeah. It's just wishful thinking, isn't it?
Jonathan B says, I'm a Bournemouth fan. Kirk is slightly out of his depth playing for a weaker team. At AZ, I'm sure he could bomb up the line with not much consequence.
Fair. Okay.
That happens. He's also, Union Berlin have been, it's been a season for them. Anyway, I don't think anything else jumps out at me. How excited are you to play Harry Maguire?
Not at all. Not at all. No. I think, I don't know. It's a game where Harry Maguire scores from a corner, doesn't it? And runs to the camera, I told you.
Away to Liechtenstein?
Love it. I've got him in a big team. Chanot loves playing for Luxembourg. Not that you wouldn't.
Does.
Who wouldn't love playing for Luxembourg? But he really loves it.
Yeah, he's just solid. There's that Santiago Colombato again.
Nice.
There's Pickford. Yeah, nothing too crazy here.
Sweden's probably the one game I don't think we've mentioned that's probably going to be a bit of a gluttony of goals. I think picking the Sweden team's maybe the hard bit. Isak's injured at the moment. Yeah. So I don't know what that really does to a lot of the key cards that may be involved, but I think Kulusevski would be good for it. Just Sweden can't qualify, but Estonia are like a bottom tier nation. Sweden are at home. Sweden have got very, very good players, and they're disappointed to not qualify. So they will, they want to sell some tickets and keep everyone happy in Sweden, for the next campaign. Is the way I think of it. So how many goals they scored so far? 12 over 6 games. Estonia have conceded 18. So I think 3 or 4 goals are quite easily on the cards for Sweden here.
I haven't seen the squad, like who actually got called for Sweden.
I'll see if I can dig it.
Trying to think here of who. I mean, obviously Kulusevski is going to be a popular one. Did Forsberg end up not getting called?
I've got it here. So it's a bit of a jumble the way they list this list. So 3 goalkeepers. I don't think we've got cards for any of them. Robin Olsen, actually.
We have Olsen. We definitely have Olsen.
In defence, I see a couple of cards. Starfelt, Lindelof, and Sema really jump out. And in the midfield and attack, I see Victor Claesson, Ekdal, Elanga, Forsberg, Gustafsson, Jairikes, Jasper Karlsson, Dejan Kulusevski, and then some kind of fringe players behind that. So yeah, Karlsson, Jairikes, if that's how you say his name, Elanga, maybe.
Karlsson's out.
Is Karlsson out? Can I make this bigger?
Belisari said you can see the squad on Sorare. Oh, where's that?
Oh, can you? Love that.
Where would I even think to go for that? What do we got?
Maybe type in Sweden. They've got a really... I was on their team pages earlier for like Premier League teams. The team pages are really good. So maybe just type in Sweden. No, when I type in Sweden, I just get players.
Sweeney?
I've got Starfelt, so I'm going to click on Starfelt. And then does it say, can I click on Sweden anywhere for him? There's Sweden there. No, I can't click on them. How do you get it? Sweden, there's a wee... Yeah, I'm trying to find what to click on to... Yeah, there's nothing like... I'm trying to click on everything in the fixture list. Everything.
This is funny. More about Carl. Alex,
I know it's that.
Clayson Olsen pair in the midfield. Agreed. Although I don't have a Clayson. Yeah, if anyone's got any way for us to figure that out. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I tried all that.
No.
Clicked everywhere.
Oh, well. It was a good try.
But yeah.
Alan said, Kajust will also see playing time. I'm from Sweden. Sweet. Oh, wait, here we go. Live matches squad. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking.
Ooh.
But now I have to find Sweden here. When do they play?
I think he went past them. I think they've maybe got a game up here. Yeah, somewhere. I thought I seen them. I might be. Yeah, they're there. Oh, jackpot. Maybe. It's not the same squad that was just looked at.
I'm going to assume it's the squad.
This is like just Swedish players, I think.
Well, that was my worry, but we'll see.
Because a lot of those guys are like people. I think Sweden, see some of these Scandinavian countries, they play friendlies at odd time, kind of similar to the way the US team does, and they'll just play like domestic players, and they'll play Finland and stuff like that. So
yeah.
When you see a lot of those guys, they've probably been capped for Sweden, and that's why they've been grabbed into there. But that's not like this.
Carlson is not on the list, but they said he was pulled out, so maybe it's updated.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Augustinsson was on the list.
Well, that defender, Isaac Hine, he's well thought of, at least anyway. He's not in the squad on that list that I just found there for us. So I think that's maybe just a bunch of people that have been playing, at least anyway. So it's good to see. Better than nothing.
Yeah. I assume these are just the players that are eligible to be selected in Rivals. That's how I would.
Oh, yeah, of course. But like Walkfist or something, that guy's not in the squad at all. So he's probably like a guy that. Oh no, he is. Walkfist is. That's like his middle name there. Sorry. Yeah.
Jonathan said the Israeli squad isn't 100% correct either.
Halt.
Oh well.
Yeah. There's a few guys that are kind of leftovers from maybe other squads and stuff, but
yeah, I love seeing it though.
That's brilliant.
That's really helpful. It would be great if that was not so hidden. I feel like we played so rare long enough where we should have figured that out, but apparently we weren't. You know why I don't like it? Because the match is coming up. It's not live. There's nothing live about this match.
Indeed.
It's literally tomorrow. It's not even today.
Fair.
Anyway. We'll scroll. Oh, it's not even. No, that was like.
It'll just take you back for infinity. That's scroll back.
No, this is in the past. This is like Friday, November 10th in the live section. What do we do? Wednesday, November 15th now. Anyway, I'm just going to start complaining. Sorry. Anyway, I think that's all we got. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Shout out to this guy here for all the help here. And I would say if you're not somebody who goes all out to prepare for these game weeks, just pretend like it's a bonus. These are just bonus reward possibilities. Don't get too stressed if you have a DNP. We'll get our club football back soon enough, so don't worry about it. So thank you, everybody, and good luck this week.